Boxing Day blues. If you're heavy drinker, alcohol dependent, or if you're trying to get sober, you've got to listen to this, because I don't know about you, but I always felt worse Boxing Day than I did Christmas Day when I was drinking, because you think, well, I've got one day to survive, all right? But you don't feel like eating really, so Christmas Day is a bit of a write-off, isn't it? But you just manage to get through it and push yourself on a little bit. Don't have a very good sleep on Christmas Day night. And next day, people are up a little bit earlier, because people want to go to the Boxing Day sales, loads of sport on. And then they start with the big breakfast, don't they? The last thing you want as an alcoholic is something to eat. Isn't it? A big fried breakfast. You're not feeling very well. You probably haven't eaten well for months, even years. It was years before I ate properly. I'd been just picking at food for 2 or 3 years, really longer than that even. When you're an alcoholic, you don't eat properly. You're very malnourished. Now, 5 years on from that, the last 2 to 3, I've been getting better every day. I had a fantastic day yesterday. I did all the cooking yesterday. 90% of it anyway. I didn't do the washing up, mind. Felt great, had loads to eat. I even felt like having something when I got back. Today, I'll have something to eat again. When you're drinking, all you're doing is concentrating on drinking. I did a video the other day about the last Christmas drinking. All I was doing was going up and downstairs, opening bottles silently, and it was just a total and utter nightmare. Boxing Day, I had to do the same. Double whammy, isn't it? So they're starting the food again. The breakfast, then they make sandwiches and all this. It's, every household does the same. Because they're normal people, all right? They have a few drinks, some don't drink at all, and they get to bed at a reasonable time, they wake up, family's there, they're all happy, and you're just sitting there miserable as sin, because all you want to do is get back to your apartment, your house, your tent, wherever you live. I was not in the streets, and you only get back to your stash. That's all you can wait for. I used to wait the Boxing Days with 24 hours just to get that lift back home. As soon as I walked in the door, I think, oh my God, so I'm back. Crack open a can of beer or a bottle of beer, and that was me sorted. At last, I've fought it, you know. Christmas and Boxing Day were terrifying for me. Now they're quite, well, it's a joyous occasion, but they're quite a good occasion for me. To see my family, I'm feeling good. I see my girlfriend, I do a few bits together. I'm active now, I can do what I like, really. Now, when I was drinking, I didn't do anything. All I wanted to do was just sit in that daft flat or the pub with the old soaks, you know, one of which I've just heard yesterday, unfortunately. He had a second stroke. He's the same age as me. Vastly overweight, unable to do anything, all because of the drinking. And it's very sad. This is what happens to a lot of people, isn't it? And they just go downhill. So, yeah, getting back to the subject. And so the Boxing Day is a long day, because there's not the Christmas presents. You've done all that carry on. The house is maybe a bit, wherever you're staying, is a bit of a mess. There's lots of people sitting around. You know, bits of wrapping paper, whatever happens. You know, Boxing Day is not the same as Christmas Day. It's not the same excitement, but people still want to eat. It's the eating that got to me. Because I went down to 9 stone, you know, when I was really ill. I'm 6'3". I mean, geez, can you imagine how bad I looked? And I used to just think, I'm terrified of running out of beer. And it was hard to nip into the garage. There's always somebody about when you've got a few guests, isn't it? Watching what you're doing. Well, not really watching what you're doing, but you're conscious of it. Very sort of paranoid and anxious when I'm going to get the next bottle. I kind of sneak something upstairs. You know, and people say, what are you going upstairs again for? Oh, you've got a weak bladder or something. What's wrong with you? So people, you're constantly questioned when you're an alcoholic. People just don't like the fact you don't drink, basically, and they wonder what you're doing. Because you're trying to hide at the time to have some tea. So you're hiding from the situation, you're running away from it, really, and you're concentrating on just getting home all the time. So you must be really, I must have looked completely out of my head. My father used to say when he was alive, God, you look spaced out. I don't think I was spaced out, I was just thinking, how am I going to get out of this situation? Can I put a couple of bottles of beer in my pocket and then take the dogs for a walk, right? So I used to say, right, can I take the dog for a walk? Other dogs, well, yeah, I'll come with you. I thought, no, I don't want to come with me. I want to go on my own. Everything you do is secretive. You do a lot of things alone when you're an alcoholic, because you don't want other people to be involved. You don't want people to know what you're doing, when you're doing it, where you're doing it. And I was talking to somebody the other day who's got a drink issue, and the places we used to hide it are most bizarre. And it was worse when you're going somewhere else where you haven't got your stash. You've got to plan ahead, and you always have a bag that's too heavy, and you're looking for drink all the time. And my parents used to have this drinks cabinet. I had a little couple of bottles of little bottles of beer. I didn't used to like wine or spirits or anything. And I used to like trying to open it, but it would only make a clank. I was trying to cough over it, and it was a full-time job trying to conceal my alcoholism because it's very much frowned upon, and I was embarrassed by it. You shouldn't be embarrassed by this, you know. If you said to somebody, I'm a heroin addict, I've got problems with the drugs, they'll say, oh, I'm really sorry to hear about that. Or maybe give you some help. If you say you're an alcoholic, people just say, oh, you're drinking too much, you're a drunk. It's self-inflicted. Oh, let's carry on. But it's an illness. It's been proven to be an illness, alcoholism. It's an addiction. I even get some people coming on the channel and say, oh, just stop drinking, you're an idiot, and all this kind of people who are always going to be like that. There's always going to be people who criticise what you try and do. And here to help people, and idiots come on and say, oh, you look drunk and all that nonsense. What a load of piffle, you know. So basically, you're aware all the time that you're out of place, if that makes sense. You're not normal. But as far as I can see, I'm perfectly normal when I haven't got a drink. So there's been an issue there, hasn't there? And it wasn't self-inflicted. I drank, and suddenly I found myself in this addiction. I mean, it would be incredibly good to find out at which point people turn from heavy drinker to alcohol dependent. Because if you could find that area, then the medics and other people can pinpoint it and get the turning back clock on, if that makes sense. Because we go through, I'm sure you go through these 4.5 stages. Stage 1 of the social, 2 is heavier drinking, 3 when you know it's doing you harm, 3.5 when you're really on the edge of going into alcoholism, and then 4 when you're in an active addiction, when you can't get out of it unless you really push it, which I had to do. And it is hope out there and you can do it. But when you get to stage 4, you've got to really fight it. If you hit it at stage 3 and stage 3.5, where you know, the doctors say, right, this is what you're doing. This is what we're going to do. This is the area where you've got to, it's going to be addressed, and not get into this stage 4 of active addiction. Because once you're there, it's crossover point. There's no turning back then, is there? So why we turn from heavy drinking to alcoholic at one point is what we need to find out. I don't know if anybody's got any thoughts on that, but I've not got any thoughts on when they did actually turn. I mean, various ideas, because I think back, your memory's not that good. When I started drinking in the morning a little bit, but I did that a few times when I was on holiday, you know, the hair of the dog. But I didn't do it when I came home. So you can't just be an alcoholic on holiday. You're either an alcoholic or you're not. And, you know, you've got to try and find this spot where you actually, I mean, there's lots of warning signs out there. There's lots of videos about warning signs. We all know what the warning signs are. Feeling groggy, drinking in the morning. But there must be a point where physiologically you turn from being a heavy drinker or being even a social drinker to being alcohol dependent. Is it a change in career? Is it something in the mindset? I don't know what it is. There's so many different parts of it, really, aren't there? It's not just one thing. It's not, oh, something happened, somebody died, or something happened in my life and it turned me into an alcoholic. It doesn't turn everybody into an alcoholic just because of a death in the family. It's already in you, I think, in some people. Oh, I lost my job, so I turned into an alcoholic. You're already a heavy drinker at that point, aren't you? I know lots of people who have lost their jobs, lost family. It's just the cycle of life, isn't it? You're going to lose people in life. We're all going to pass away, unfortunately, at some point. You're all going to have trauma. We all have trauma. And when you're sober, you still have trauma. You might have more because you're doing more. But you can cope with it. But when you're in active addiction, everything's extra stressful, isn't it? It's all a hassle. So if you, again, are sober, brilliant, keep going. If you've had a relapse, don't beat yourself up about it, because I had plenty of relapses. Get back on the sober track. It's a good day for reflection today, and it's a good day to think about maybe January the 1st. I know a lot of people talk about dates. You should stop now. You can't just stop now. You can't just turn back 30 or 40 or 10, 20 years of drinking in one day. It's got to be a gradual process. You've got to give yourself a start date, maybe a bit of a target, start to just ease off a little bit. If you're very ill with it, then you've got to get medical advice, of course. And let's try and get as many people as possible into 2025 with a sober idea, at least. Because, believe you me, it will really turn your life around. If you benefit from the channel, please subscribe and share it. Because I like a lot of people to know about this, because I know from just the last 7 months of doing this, even I'm surprised how many people have got issues with drinking. It's incredibly widespread, more widespread than I ever imagined, to be fair. Any comments, drop me a line. I'll speak to you all soon.